So now we're going to transition into my section called Explain That. So basically, Explain That, like I explained to you before the camera was on, I'm going to go through, I think, two songs, 4 portions of the song, and I want you to tell me the song and see if you remember your lyrics. And then I'm going to ask you about that moment or what that thing was talking about. Okay. So the first one is, I look around and I see wanderers. I'm about to sing it. Let me get my singing board. So, I look around and I see wanderers around me, searching for a purpose, deep down feeling worthless. Explain that.
Okay, I actually remember like the scene of like the week that I wrote that. Mm-hmm. So I was in my high school cafeteria and I was literally like looking around. It was kind of one of those moments where you're like sitting with people, but you're not really listening to what they're saying, and everything just kind of, all the nonsense kind of like fades away, and you just look. And I just was looking around. I was seeing hurt people. There were a lot of rumors going around about people in the school. People were being like broken down because of rumors and like things they had done, and people are bringing up old things. And I was just heartbroken for like people that I would see. And so I remember writing that song out of that burden that I have for them. And like, man, there's so much more. Like, they're just like sleepwalking. Like, they're just going through life, and this little thing gets them down because they don't have hope. And I just saw a lack of hope. And so I kind of wrote that song literally like for my high school and the burden that I had there.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, because when I, going back this past week, listening to it, I was like, man, this is like deep theological. Like, she didn't even know. She's in high school. She's like, because you said wanderers, because I'm like, literally people who aren't saved or spiritually dead. So when you said it, I'm like, man, that's like a little theology.
Yeah, it came from Ephesians, where it talks about, oh, sleeper, rise from the dead.
Yeah.
And, that was the verse that I kind of based it off of.
Okay, yeah, that was dope. Okay, cool. Seeking approval until it gets brutal, and all that we are is so untruthful. Got so much potential, could be monumental. Explain that.
These were all written very close together. So, like, I just saw a lot of people trying to impress people, trying to get approval from different people, when really they're just being, they're just stripping themselves of who they are and trying to please everybody else and let everyone's opinion build who they become. And so I was seeing that, and I was like, man, like, you could be monumental just by being who you are. You have so much potential in this life. Like, if you just be yourself and not let like what people think or say like affect or create a different you.
And that's like what's so beautiful about like freedom in Christ, because I know like with me in college, I struggled. Like, I didn't realize this till after I graduated, until I really started walking with God, that in college I was seeking approval. Like, I was hanging around people that I shouldn't have been hanging around. And we weren't close. Like, they talked to the other people, like in the whole circle that we had. They talked to them more than they talked to me. We were never really close, but I hung out with them because they know they're going to the parties. Oh, everybody knows us, but we can't have a meaningful conversation together or whatever because I was just there. And then after college, I just realized, I'm like, yo, like, I was really like a coward. And like, when you get freedom in Christ, you break out of that cowardiceness that you had when you were there. So that's definitely dope. I definitely like that. So then this next song, it says, saying we gotta be remembered, leave a legacy and be bestsellers, have our names never be gone, and it goes on and on and on. With the sold out shows for sold out souls in our ears, and out it goes, and just like that, the whole world knows. Explain that.
Yeah, so this song is geared towards the music industry, and kind of more the secular side, but hey, unfortunately things cross over to the Christian realm, and because they start letting things get in the way and things kind of change them. So this song is about, it's kind of mixed with that and mixed with high schoolers again, because I'm seeing people listening to certain music and it's like changing them. So the power that these people over here, the artists, have to affect these young people, it's crazy. And a lot of them, unfortunately, aren't using it for the greater good. They're using it to corrupt and to play into this agenda and what's like mainstream, which unfortunately is like dark and can really hurt people. So that was about the kind of power of the artist in the mainstream, successful artists that can just put a song out, and what they say is now for the whole world to hear, and now it's infiltrating into minds. And so I was just kind of fed up with that, and I started to see how everyone's singing about love. Like, that's all everyone sings about, because they want it, they need it. Like, there's such a cry that it's so loud from our generation and from the music industry that we all want love. And so
that's
that even
type of love.
Yes, and it plays into stuff I'm writing now, which is more about like God is love, and like that song that you're talking about. And so More Than Enough is just kind of about that, and it ends on, well, hey, if you're gonna sing that song, like, I have a new song to sing, and hopefully this will infiltrate people in a good way, whereas your stuff is kind of, you know, whack.
And then the second quote from it: false realities that consume us, scared to think the magazines will tell the truth because you would be wrong. It goes on and on and on. That was another theological part, but I'm just, So, you want to read that again for you?
Yeah, read it.
False realities, they consume us, scared to think the magazines will tell the truth because you would be wrong. It goes on and on and on.
So one thing it actually says, did you think the magazines would tell the truth? Because it goes on and on. So pretty much that is, people like look at celebrities, you know, like they are truth, and they are like, it's all real, and that they're not just doing it for money, or like everything they do is fake, and like people are just taking in what they see on Facebook or what the Kardashians are up to or whatever. Like, it's all real, and what they should base their lives off.
It's all real. And then at the gym, all I see is Kardashians. I'm like, bro, why do we care so much about it? Because it's sickening.
It's a facade, and so it gets people to play into this game, and so that's what that part is about. Like, you think the magazines are telling the truth, because like you're wrong. Like, why are you believing all these things?
Okay. So transition. Thank you for that. I always wanted to. Those two songs are like my favorites. So I always wanted to explain that. So now we're gonna talk about Nashville. Tell me about Nashville. How did that happen? What's going on?
So at the top of the year, when it turned 2018, I was talking with God, and I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna recommit my music to you, because in college I was very, I mean, you get busy with school, and then you're meeting people and new relationships and that sort of thing, and so I was just really trying to immerse myself in that, which is good, but I was putting my music on the back burner. I was like, I'll do this when I get out of school, or like, I'll do this later, and God's like, no, like, I called you to this in middle school, you've been writing, and now, like, I looked back and I was like, man, I haven't been writing. Now, I did do, my freshman year of college, I did Visible Worship, which is their worship team, and I was the lead singer for that, and I did like all the writing and rewriting for that, so it was like another project I did, but it's under Visible Worship, so it would never be under Trulah and anything, so it was still like, I'm still here with my stuff, and I need to be like progressing, and I was just kind of putting it on the back burner. So anyways, at the top of the year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start writing again and taking this more serious. And as soon as, like, just like with everything, once you surrender to God and say, okay, I'm gonna do this, He sweeps in and starts opening doors and confirming that that is what I want you to do. And so that's what's been happening. For spring break, me and my mom decided, like, let's go network in Nashville. We didn't really know what that meant. Had one plan on the last night to write with a friend of mine's brother who's a producer there. Like, I don't even know the guy, I know his brother. So we had like one plan, but we were like, let's go and like, let's see what God does. And I kid you not, like, every single day was filled with, I met this person and this Grammy Award winner.
You just went to like record offices? Cause I'm like,
no, like,
where'd you go?
It was just weird. Like, it's one of those God things. Like, I didn't seek it. Like, I just kind of went. So, for example, like, the first night I got to sing at the Bluebird Cafe, which is like an iconic place. Like, Taylor Swift was discovered there, like different kind of country stuff, but it's just a nice place to say you sing. It was just an open mic night, but they're really hard to get into. And so I went there, did that, and there was a lot of confirmation in my songwriting, because I sang that song Love, and like young girls are coming up to me like, was that Christian? Like, keep doing what you're doing, because your sound mixed with meaningful lyrics is like effective. And so there was just confirmation there. Then the next day, I met with a friend in Franklin, which is like a suburb of Nashville, and Lauren Daigle walks into the coffee shop, like Holland, who's a Christian singer, and like all these people, and my friend knew Holland. Yeah, no, right? And so I got to talk to her, and then my friend who I was with, she's on Toby Mac's label, so we went to his place. And then my mom had heard about this like open writers round to the public. So it was like a bunch of Christian artists and writers. Well, not a bunch. It was only like 4 of them, and they were singing their songs and just talking about it. And that part was open to the public, but it was for this camp that you had to pay $500 called Kingdom Songs if you're gonna do it, to learn how to write about the church.
Yeah.
And so really cool, but I didn't hear about it enough to be in it, so I just went to this open thing. Well, then I meet like Elisa Turner. She's an up and coming worship artist. She just released the album. You should look her up. She's really great. I connected with her. We're still friends, and stuff comes into play with her later that I'll talk about. And then I met Michael Farron, who has written First with Arndale. Like, he's written everything, like, with everybody. And then he was like, well, what are you doing tomorrow? And they've never heard me sing. I just said, hi, my name's Trulah, and you know, like, they were like, well, what are you doing tomorrow? Come write with us. So the next day I get to be part of the camp, and I get to go for free and get to write with them. And then the next day he was like, oh, that person that you had plans to write with tomorrow, like, I trained her, so like I know these people. So the next day I'm still connected with everybody, and like, it was just stuff like that, how God was working things up. The next time, a few weeks later, we went to Nashville again. The Airbnb we stayed at was owned by a multi-Grammy award winner with Dove Awards in the Airbnb. And we're like, who owns this place? Like, why are there so many awards? And Toby Mac and Blake Shelton's on the wall. So like, we're looking up like who it is, and then he like knocks on the door, and then he's like, we start talking about music, and he meets with me the day before I leave and gives me advice and just kind of hears me out, my mission. So it's like stuff like that, and I didn't have any plans until literally last week. Like, God, where am I gonna stay? Like I need a roommate that's not a stranger and like has values and stuff. And but I've been trusting it. Everyone's like, so do you have a place yet? And I'm like, nope. Like, I'm a pretty chill person. And literally last week, one person I met for like 2 seconds that spring break week reached out and said, do you still need a roommate? My sister just got a teaching job, and she is moving there, needs a roommate, and her budget and location is perfect. And turns out that Elisa Turner, that I spoke of earlier, she lives in the apartment complex. Like, stuff like that. And she's my mentor now, and like everything's just like working out. So
that's dope.
Yeah, I'm just trusting God with it and moving there, because I felt like he was like, okay, spring break was to show you go with no plans, I fill it up. Do that with your life, and like, don't worry about it. And so I have a job interview in a few weeks, and so I'm just trusting him with everything. It's not like I'm going there with a record deal and I'm like ready, because like people are like, oh, good luck, like, make your dreams come true.
I mean, you're humble about it, but I mean, you know the talent. That's the thing.
Just whatever happens, like whatever platform I want it to just be like to advance the kingdom of God, and so that's just what I'm going. And I know I'm supposed to go there right now, so I'm just obeying, and we'll see.
So no more school, at least for right now.
At least for right now. I might do like online stuff later, or I can always kind of come back if I need to. But it's kind of interesting.
Okay, cool. So as for the rest of the year, what do you have plans? So goals for 2019.
Yeah.
You got plans for 2018. I know we talked about the Only You song, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I should hit that in my email. But,
I will. So I have that, and then again with moving, like, we'll see who I connect with or whatever. Goal would be 2019 album of some sort, maybe EP, but hopefully like an album. Yeah, like, let's go, let's do it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So make sure you guys check her out. Tell them where they can find you at on social media.
So Trulah for everything, TRULAH. There's not too many of those out there, so you can just search it. YouTube Trulah Music, Facebook Trulah Music, Instagram Trulah _ and Twitter Trulah Michaela, which is MIKAELA. And I think that's all.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And okay, so guys, this is one of my favorite interviews. You won't forget about this person right here. She's definitely up and coming. She's definitely got goals, definitely got heart and integrity. So be sure to look out for her. And until next time, I'm your host, Drew Muzan. This was another RareView interview. Peace.